to encourage myself to use the power broke is once money started coming in, we clean out the bank accounts. We paid our taxes, we tithe, gave, bills, whatever my wife wanted, etc. But I saw zero in the checking account again. And it got me back to day one, engage that emotion of, I need to make calls, I need to make some contacts. How does having an empty bank account, having empty pockets actually motivate an entrepreneur?
I think it gives you a healthy paranoia. I think you feel that it can go away this fast, just like that. You know, it makes you, what we say, it makes you hack yourself and say, what am I doing wrong? Or how can I be better at this? Why did I work so hard and I don't have enough to show for it? Or how can I maybe adjust how I'm working? What other resources do I have to maximize this? So I think that the power broke, and the power broke should be there when you are, you know, a large company. You know, I look at somebody like a Jeff Bezos. He's not stopping. He's going, and he's thinking this is not enough. You know, recently what he did was he said, all employees that work for us can take boxes home at the end of the day if they want to. Now that's entrepreneurial thinking. That's going, well, I'm one of the largest shippers in the world. I can save a reduction on shipping. I have a trusted employee that can make a little bit of extra money on their way home, and I know they're going to make sure that box gets there.
Wow.
That's the power of broke, right? That at one of the largest companies in the world, right?
Because you do that if you're a startup.
Exactly.
If there's a start move.
If you was a startup, you'd be like, hey, Todd, where you going? You going home? Take these boxes with you, homie. All right?
Yeah.
That's power of broke. It can be utilized in any aspect of life at any level of business.
You mentioned Bezos and mentorship earlier. So Daymond, what has mentorship meant to you in your life and your career?
Yeah, you know, so mentors in business and in life are extremely important. I think goal setting is the number one, because if you don't know where you want to go, then how are you going to find the right mentor? My mother was my first mentor, still is. A teacher who believed in a little brown dyslexic boy who said I can be anything I want to be in was my second. My third was actually a guy, and I love telling the story. He owned a little corner store, a very small store, but at about 10 or 11 years old, I would sweep up the store for candy. I didn't know what interning was. There was no thing in interning in the hood. It was, yo, you want some candy? Sweep up the store. But I learned the fundamentals of business from him. I mean, he knew the business. He knew you either increase sales or reduce costs. You know, somebody in your neighborhood who's been doing this for 20 years, they've dealt with taxes, they've dealt with competition, they've dealt with all climate change, they've dealt with all kind of things, and they know the fundamentals of businesses. So that's what I believe, and I still seek out other mentors. Now, you can have mentors online, you can have mentors in books, you can have mentors personally there for you. The most important thing, though, when you seek them out, what's in it for the mentor? People always ask me to mentor them. Well, the line for me to mentor people starts here and ends up in Brooklyn somewhere. But if you come to me and say, well, you know, Daymond, I know that you love fishing and you love the water and the ocean. I'm going to donate an hour of my time every week towards a charitable contribution that helps clean up our shores. If I do that, can I talk to you once a month? Sign me up. You know, like, so it all depends. You gotta understand how to find a mentor, a good mentor, because successful people want to help other people. You know, my companies that I mentor on Shark Tank, the really smart ones, like the really successful ones, they barely listen to me. I tell them all my ideas, they take them all in. They may use one, they'd be like, thank you. You know, but I'm happy when they use the one, because I'm only here to give them the opportunities to say, here's what I think. You still got to personalize it to how you're going to execute it and how it fits your business and everything else. But a lot of times you don't want a mentor to have, you know, interest in the company, because you don't want it to be, you know, a jaded reason for saying something.
What's the best way for someone to say, okay, I'm watching these videos, I'm seeing this online. What's the best way for people to actually find a mentor?
Well, it depends on who the mentor is. So first of all, don't only think of mentors who are in your category or in your space. Think about mentors who can diversify your way of thinking, right? So if you look at companies that go to raise money, they have a board of advisors. What is that? That's a bunch of mentors. That's saying, I got one person in finance, one person in distribution, one person in legal, one person in marketing, and at any given time, I can call any of these people, and they're going to give me some advice. And that's why they co-sign on to me, and that's why your money is going to be safer with me than with other people, because I'm not just going to be leaning on you because you put in money. But how do you find them? It all depends. I mean, the easiest stage of finding a mentor is, of course, just reading a book. You don't got to ask anybody about it. And if you notice, what I love about informative books are books have been written obviously for thousands of years. And, if you look at even our books, my book or Tony Robbins or Tim Ferriss or Malcolm Gladwell, any of that, you think we have some big conspiracy going on to all say the same exact thing, or find the common denominator you find and say, okay, well, how do I apply that to myself? Then go out and seek mentors. And again, what's in it for the mentor? What are what are you trying to get out of it? How much time and effort are you going to put into it? What have you previously learned? And why do you feel that this mentor is the person that you want to give you guidance?
What happens if a mentor says something that you don't like, but you know you need to get it done? You have that mental battle. Take in what the mentor says and potentially lose that mentor?
Listen, a mentor tells me something that I don't like. It all depends. If it is a morally wrong thing to do, I have to reflect on that. Maybe that's not the right mentor. Maybe that's not, the area that mentor should be advising me. Or maybe it's not morally, the wrong thing. And he's telling me, listen, I want you to clean these cars. Wash like this, wipe off like this. And I'm like, yo, he's crazy. Maybe I don't see the vision. All of a sudden, I'm the Karate Kid, right? It all depends,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. So speaking of mentorship, let's talk about something new that you just started. Daymond on Demand.
Yep,
Talk to
Daymond
us
on
about
Demand.
this.
Yeah, so Daymond on Demand, what I realized was a lot of startups as well as existing businesses could not find a good amount of information collectively in the same area about starting the business, knowing their target audience, knowing when they need funding, if they need funding, what a patent is, a trademark, a copyright is. So I put it down in an 8-hour digital course for people to know all that, and that becomes their daily habit of understanding the lingo and understanding the way and how they need to go about opening a business. So I put it down with some of my best advisors as well, the people that it took me years to get to after I went through all the not so great advisors, from taxes to all those type of things. And I put it down in an 8-hour course. It's called Daymond on Demand.
So Daymond, in 2008, the name Daymond John became a household name, and you're asked to join Shark Tank, and it became a monster hit. The show is in its 12th season, which I think it was about to be canceled after the third season. Right?
It was about to be canceled the first 3 years.
First 3 years.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So how's the show changed your life?
Shark Tank changed my life dramatically. I went from being somebody who's known in a certain segment to a certain group, people who love hip hop, who likes fashion, to being a presidential ambassador for global entrepreneurship, traveling the world, President Obama. Somebody who's been able to now invest and diversify in various other companies. Somebody who kids anywhere from 5 to 75 respect and value me, and the family all knows me from sitting around the television set. Because prior to that, I was put in a box, like most of us, whether it's, oh, you're a veteran, or you're a woman, or you're African American, or you only know this. You're a lawyer, you can't know branding. You're a brander, you can't know legal. And people thought the FUBU guy was supposed to walk in the room with gold teeth, a gun hanging off my side, and start breakdancing with baggy jeans on. When they saw me on television, they said, wait a minute, this guy is a business person. We don't care about his color, his sex, his gender, his anything else like that. He is a business person, and this guy wants to invest in people. So, I never really thought about it until probably about the third or fourth season into Shark Tank. Then I realized that more people need to see people that came from nothing making it, because again, you generally only see people's sizzle reels on social media or on TV and not the blooper reels, and they need to know, if I can make it, then you can.
You actually are investing your own money in over $8 million of investments into these companies that you're investing in. So what are the key things when you're investing into a company? What are some of the key things that you're looking for in your decision making?
I'm looking for a great story that I can resonate with. I'm looking for how many times you got beat up and you got back up because you loved and valued what you were doing and you learned from it. I'm looking for how much homework you've done on your current market and your existing market and where you're going to go. And then I'm looking for the scalability in the company. Is the company could be big enough where you need a partner? What's your why? Why are you doing it? And last but not least, most importantly, do I like you? Listen, I want to know if I can deal with you. If I don't want to deal with you and make money, I made a lot of money off of Shopify. I made a lot of money off of Amazon and Tesla and Apple. They don't call me with a problem.
Yeah.
So again, I got to learn to like it. What if I love the product? I'll buy one. I don't need to invest in the company, right? So whether you're working next to somebody or with somebody on Zoom, or as an entrepreneur you're investing in, can I sit next to you or be on calls with you 5 hours a day or 8 hours a day, 5 days a week for the next 5 years of my life?
Daymond, a couple of companies come to mind because they may not have been on the surface companies that your fellow sharks would have invested in. One comes to mind, Lisa with Bobbles and Souls, and another one with Chris with Scali, which created a big Shark Tank fight. Talk to us about those investments. What was your decision-making process in that?
Yeah, Lisa and her husband, but Lisa from Bobbles and Souls came in the room with great energy. I mean, I related to the product somewhat because I have a wife and we have a daughter, and the mommy and me thing is nice, but I just realized she was never going to stop. She was somebody who went through a very hard and challenging time coming up in the world, and she doesn't know what no means.
Daymond, you got a deal.
Wow. I gotta be a business with you. You're amazing. She was definitely one that, and I love working with her, and she's amazing. Chris from Scali, same thing. I saw somebody who, went from zero to having 1.2 or 1.1 million dollars in scholarships. So you see proof of concept there. You have the know-it-alls like Cuban and Kevin and Robert, and now they may be too close to it. I've been guilty of this. Because it's technology, they may not have heard the things that they wanted to hear. But he had a user base. He had already executed on his level, and he probably wasn't going to stop. And they said it was Charity Tank, but he's still in business, and a lot of their companies are not. So I think that, but again, it's investing in the person. I knew that Chris was never going to stop.
Shark Points. You said true entrepreneurs have to be ready for change.
Yeah.
And to prepare for that, you've created 5 principles that you call Shark Points. So let's break this down.
Yeah.
S stands for set a goal.
I've tried to hack myself a million times with these Shark Points and say, what am I missing? Nothing's missing in this. So S, you got to set a goal. You can't hit a target that you can't see as far as I'm concerned.
H stands for homework.
Simple as that. Homework, right? You got to figure out what you're doing. You got to figure out how to execute it.
This word is funny because I used to be an Olive Garden server. Amore.
Amor, love.
Yeah.
You got to love what you do. Every single time that I have failed at something, it was either 3 things missing. It was either I didn't love it, or I didn't do my homework on it, or I didn't find the right strategic partner to help me. Now, here's what happens though. If I didn't love it, then I never spent time on doing homework and research. If I never did homework and research, then I never found the best partner.
Gotcha.
Right? So, period.
Bingo. R, remember.
You're the brand. Remember, you're the brand. You personally are the brand. You got to put yourself in 2 to 5 words. You got to know what you stand for. You got to know what you're delivering. Because now people aren't necessarily, checking your resume or getting a reference call from you. They're just picking up their phone and checking out who you are. And they're watching you. And they want to know if you're the brand because they want to know who's behind whatever your services are. If I sit there and I believe that I want to buy something from your company, like my company Bombas is doing really well. People know that there's a cause behind Bombas because every 1 pair of socks that they sell, they give away a pair to the homeless. You have user-generated content of people calling and saying, or showing and saying, I don't give at the office at the end of the year. I give to Bombas when I buy Bombas, and I help homeless. I help human trafficking, stop human trafficking when I buy this. I help clean up the ocean when I buy this. And people want to know who you are, what's your mission, why. They can buy from anybody in the world. Why are they supporting you?
Last one, K, keep.
Keep swimming. Keep swimming. You have to keep. Listen, some of these. I like learning in this form, but some of these are corny as hell. But no problem. Keep swimming. A real shark dies if it stops swimming. You got to keep trying, right? You got to keep going. You're going to fail. It's gonna happen, no matter what. It's gonna happen. You don't start off running a full marathon. Like my buddy Champ always says. You start off trying to get to this fire hydrant, then to this corner, then to this light post, then to this bridge. Before you know it, after a couple of months or years, you can run a full marathon.
Daymond, can I get personal for a minute?
Sure.
A few years ago, you defeated stage 2 thyroid cancer. So did that health battle change your perspective of life and business?
I had to have a really tough negotiation with myself first. Again, going back to knowing why. I didn't know that I had it, but the doctors saw a little lump on my thyroid. I went to have surgery, and they said the 1 hour surgery was 3.5 hours of removing a stage 2 golf ball size of cancer out of my throat. And I had to sit there and reflect and go, I lived 10 lives. I got a great life. Maybe I should start winding things down, enjoy more time with my wife and family. Because, listen, my 2 oldest girls are great girls. They're great contributors, so they're fine. My youngest is 4. She won't even remember who dad is, My wife is super hot. She'll be all right. She'll get another husband. And my mother, I would never want to bury my mother, being a little selfish. Then I had to think of the flip side of it. Wait a minute. My 2 other girls are great people. My 4-year-old, I want to walk her down the aisle. Holy crap, my wife is super hot. I get to be around a super hot woman all the time. I need to take advantage of that. And no mother should ever bury their child. So after I negotiated those things with myself, then I said, and I remember it was before the diagnosis came back that they had gotten all the cancer out of my body, but I was so in tuned on getting to the next stage of my life and being a better person, I forgot I even had it.
Wow.
So it's a mindset.
So you went from in to out. That's how you processed it.
In to out.
So Daymond, every day on social media, people look forward to seeing your content, your quotes, your tweets, inspiration, motivation type stuff. So I'm going to read some of your quotes and I'd like for you to expand on it a little bit. So first quote says, "Don't focus on you, focus on what you can give to others."
Absolutely. I've talked about mentors. I've talked about your customer. It's what's in it for the person on the other side of the table. And when you do that, you will be rewarded. I'm not talking about, of course, giving away everything in your life, but service. Okay. Give to those and you will be valued.
Next quote, "Don't wait for the perfect time. You'll wait forever. Always take advantage of the time that you're given and make it perfect for you."
Yeah, there's nothing gonna be perfect. There's another old saying. What is the saying? The harder I work, the luckier I get. Right? I love that saying, and it's the same thing. Those people who think about, oh, I gotta wait for this, I gotta wait for that. You get analysis paralysis. You never get out of the gate. Yeah. So you got to just maximize the time that you have to make it perfect for you.
I'm just curious. A lot of entrepreneurs say, "I'm going to wait to get the money, wait to get the contacts, wait to get the orders." How does that apply? How does that quote apply to that type of mindset?
You can't wait for any of that stuff. You don't wait to get orders. You wait to get one order, one sale. One sale equals 2. 2 equals 3. Right. That's how you do it. You don't wait to get the money from these people around here. You stop going to dinner, once a week, and you sell 1 car, or you move in with somebody so you can cut your rent by half. I don't care if it's a room or whatever the case is, and that's where you get your money.
Next quote, Daymond. "If people haven't laughed at your dreams, then you aren't dreaming big enough."
Yeah, now that obviously is a quote that I've heard very many places, but if they see exactly your vision, then you get the lowest common denominator if everybody can see your vision. Then there's no need for you. Yeah. You get what we call a Me Too product. Hey, I'm making this. Me too. Right? So you got to get people to laugh at you,
Like, how many times have you said on Shark Tank, "Okay, I'm the Uber of this industry"? It's kind of like a Me Too product.
Absolutely.
Right. Next quote, "Life is a cruel teacher. She loves to give you the test first and the lesson later."
I don't even know if I need to elaborate on that one. We all know that we have gotten tested and we've been like, you know what? But that comes with age. That wisdom comes with age, Joe.
I know. Tell me about it. I've always said many times, I spent my 30s repaying the mistakes of my 20s. I spent my 30s repaying the mistakes of my 20s. Last quote, "Entrepreneurship brings us hope."
Entrepreneurship does bring us hope. It's not the lowest common denominator. It is people that want to serve. It is people that educate other people. It is people that take chances. It's people that empower other people. It is people that fail, and they don't fail by committee. They just fail if they have to, and they start all over again. Entrepreneurship is the ultimate liberator.